Anderson up quickly. 49ers getting a late substitute. Anderson puts the man in motion. Again gets to Johnson and he gets down close. Looks like he's about a half yard short. Ball inside the 1. Johnson again. Yep. This time he is hit by Jack Reynolds and knocked backwards, if you can believe that. 11th play in this drive coming up. Anderson will look and throw. Alexander does not get in. They give the shot there, I don't know. The 49ers don't think he made it. Who's on the bottom of that pile? Jack Reynolds again. Number 64. That's a team effort for San Francisco's defense.
Craig Patterson's way to the goal line. He goes in for a 49er touchdown. And the 49ers are leaving the Miami Dolphins far to the rear now.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
This is complete domination. The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense every way.
From the 44, they fake it to Floyd. Young to the air, Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, that's quite a statement their defense made. To handle the middle of the football field. And Frank, I have dumbfounded as to what they're doing.
Good move to the outside on Carrington.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithfuls. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a legendary day. Let's be real, bro. Ain't nobody really doing fucking legendary right now, cuz. Okay. I may or may not have told a customer yesterday that nobody gave a fuck about their car wash because Nick Bosa tore his knee. Okay, let's be real. I did say that. They may or may not have heard me. So yeah, we're gonna obviously talk about that. I would like to talk a little bit about the game because I really do think that was a kick-ass game and should tell us a lot of positive things about this football team moving forward. But yeah, we do gotta talk about the unfortunate news that we all know about by now. That I was right this time. My freaking out was justified. Anyway, yeah, let's just go ahead and pay these bills, bro, and yeah, we'll get cracking on that and try to make it through it. Founded and backed by the GOAT himself, Goat Fuel is a great tasting energy drink without the crash. Use our affiliate link below to save 10% on all Goat Fuel energy drinks. Help out the show and save 10% at the official Niner online store by using our affiliate link in the description below. Go to seatgiant.ca to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. The website again, seatgiant.ca, promo code NinerFaithfulRadio. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. All right. Oh wow. Okay. So this is kind of working out. I don't have to hold my camera up. All right, y'all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
You're tuned in to Niner Faithful Radio, the show hosted for the faithful, by the faithful.
What's cracking, Captain?
It's Aloha Faithful. Worst Victory Monday ever?
Nah, because you know what? I'm gonna give it to it's tied. Like I guess maybe I don't know because it's got to be up there with 2020, right? Like because that's the only worst Victory Monday I could think of. No. Okay, worst Victory Monday in the show history. Worst Victory Monday I've ever experienced as a faithful was the Monday that I literally went into foster care, or I actually didn't technically go into foster care yet, but I got taken away from my sister's dad. Steve was out Steve got a concussion, and Jerry was out for the year except a couple snaps against Denver. 97 when he tore his knee. That's the worst Victory Monday ever. But worst Victory Monday in show history? Yeah. Like obviously Victory Monday of 2020 is there too, but yeah, bro. Because I don't know how you feel, Jason. I know y'all saw what I said. I'm not mad that anybody replied. I don't know if you heard my little intro. I did tell a customer nobody gives a fuck about their car wash because Nick Bosa tore his knee. They just may or may have not heard me. Like literally, I just looked at him. I was like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about your car wash, bro. I supposed to just tore his knee. Like I was like, nobody gives a fuck about your car wash right now. Like it was weird because I was in a good mood Monday. Woke up, Victory Monday, 3-0, baby. I'm retweeting. You know how Instagram has a retweet, share, whatever they're calling it button now? Right. I'm retweeting, sharing all the Niner Victory Monday posts and everything. And every now and then I would just get a random, you know how when you were a kid and you knew you were gonna get your ass whooped when you got home?
Mm-hmm.
And you would just get that pit in your stomach. That's like I would randomly get that feeling, just randomly all throughout the day. And I would just be like, and I would get like the nervous sweats, and I would be like, fuck, bruh. And I'd be like, no, 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 no. I'm like, this is Brock's elbow. That's what I kept on telling myself, Jason. This is Brock's elbow when I was about to jump off of the 400 fucking section of Levi's, Christmas Eve and shit, or Christmas Day Eve. This is that. Like, this is fine. If you listen to Kyle's presser, this is why you can't. Well, he knew, but this is why you can't listen to clips, because the first clip he does say they tested it for ACL and all that stuff, and he's good.
Yeah.
And then later on,
everybody ran with that soundbite.
Yeah, and then later on in their press conference, they specifically ask him, so he's good on an ACL? You can rule that out? And that's when he says, no, there's concern. We can't rule it out, blah, 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 blah. So if you listen to his whole press conference, he fucking knew. He fucking knew.
Here's when I knew. When they said it on the broadcast that Nick Bosa's parents are in the locker room with him, I knew right. I was like, there's no way. You would not let a player's family in the locker room, especially in like the fourth. It was like the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think, is when they announced it. I'm like, well, I was like, I think it was actually they didn't announce it. I'm sorry, it was Jennifer Lee Chan tweeted it. They're like, Nick Bosa's parents are in the locker room with him.
Yep.
Like, why the fuck else would his parents be in there with him if there wasn't something serious? I was like, and that's what I knew right then. Then I was like, okay, he's done. He is done for the season.
Okay, see, and this is so obviously I did not see the play happen. He had missed some plays before that. And then because they kept on saying on the radio, Bosa's out, Bosa's out, Bosa's out, Bosa's out, right? And then he came, I don't remember what play it was. But I remember seeing him either make a tackle, make the sack. See, he did something. And then I was like, I saw, don't know what happened to Jason. You good, bro? All right, Jason's tweaking out. We'll figure that out. But no, so I had take him out while he figures out what's going on. So we're freaking out, and everything like that. I had seen him walk to the locker room. And so the crazy thing about it was I had seen him walk to the locker room under his own power. So I did not think it was serious until on the radio, and they must have been told on the radio or something. There is something, because they started talking about, the way. Okay, we got you back, Jason. I wanted to make sure that, because I have my phone pressed against the computer, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't accidentally hit something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had seen Bosa walk off the field under his own power. And then they must have told people on the radio or something, or there was murmurs going around in the press box, because they usually don't like to make like proclamations about like, oh, it's bad. And they did with Bosa. He was like, Tim Ryan was like, he started making some mumble jumble up about the way his knee, but they were told. They clearly started going around the press box. And that's when I messaged, like, it's his knee, bro. He tore his knee. And apparently, I guess Brad had put out a picture of Bosa going like this. I don't know
Yeah.
if he was talking to his teammates or who he was talking to.
So what that was he was walking down the sideline. This was like I'm sure you've seen the clips of him where he's like high stepping kind of thing on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that. So he
Oh,
did
no,
that
I
for a
didn't.
couple minutes. Basically, like I said, he's just high kneeing it down the sideline, and then he's walking down the sideline, and the camera just pans to him. I don't know if I want to say it's randomly or perfect timing kind of thing, but you could see him wincing a little bit. And he's like, kind of like that. And he looks up into the crowd, and he's like,
Fuck.
and that's pretty much all you see. And he's he's thumbing it down and everything. I'm going to assume he was pointing to family, friends, kind of a thing, and just basically like, hey, this
Must
is
have
not it.
been.
This
We
camera
lost
is
you.
getting stupid.
Okay, we got you on audio, bro. We got you on audio.
It keeps trying to. I don't know why it keeps trying to switch me to a different thing. I got to take. Remember when I was doing that the anime thing? For some reason, it keeps trying to put it on that camera, but I'm not using it. It's not even installed on this computer anymore. But it won't take it off Restream. But anyways, so yeah, that wasn't a good sign. And
No,
then the
he
whole
knew.
a little bit later, when Jennifer Chan tweeted out that his parents were in the locker room, I was like, well, I mean, why else would your parents be in the locker room? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's not a Nikki's fine and he sprained his knee. We need to come and check in on him. That's he's fucking devastated and it needs his family around him to support him and everything. Because I mean, let's be real. This is the third time his man's tore his ACL. He knows what's up.
Yeah, he probably knew instantly. Maybe he thought, maybe I'm wrong. I like, wait a minute. I know this feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know this. And he tried to, work it out. And he's just like, nope.
Yeah, and that's what made me not initially freak out was the fact that like they didn't bring the card out, nothing. Like he was literally just walking like he had
Again,
hurt his
he
shoulder
was
or
high knee
something.
jumping. He was kind of jumping and high kneeing it on the sideline. So I mean, even I was like, okay, maybe it didn't seem as bad as it obviously is, because you saw him on the sideline like he was gonna, like, okay, if I can get this to feel okay, I can go back out in the field. And I guess he just reached a point where he was just like, no, I can't.
I
I
mean,
mean, plus it doesn't help that as bad as his injury was, obviously, it was obviously overshadowed by the James Conner injury.
oh, so what officially came out with him? I didn't see that.
I don't know. Let me see what it was. I just know that it was fucking horrible.
Like, look, bruh. It's rare to see literally all 22 players, like all players in the stadium. Like first it started with a couple players, then it went to the players on the field, and then you could see the players on the Niners sideline and the Cardinals, players, obviously, because it's their teammate. But even the Niner players were taking a knee. And it's like you literally like they talked about it on the radio broadcast. I don't know if they talked about it on the TV broadcast, but you literally heard the crowd audibly like everybody in the stadium was like, ah, fuck, and at the same time, it was crazy.
All I know is that they didn't immediately show a replay, and then obviously, and then it went to commercial.
Stadium.
Huh?
They did in the stadium.
Okay, so when he was first down and they were checking him out, all I remember seeing was that, because it was closer to the Niners sideline, that the Niners sideline was like, kind of like, waving out their staff to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get your ass moving. This is serious. And then so they were down there for a couple of seconds, and then like I think the announcers must have seen a replay because they were like, "Oh my god, that's a really bad injury." We're gonna go to commercial break, and then went to commercial break, and then they did the weirdest thing. I've never seen this before. They were like, "Look, we're gonna show this replay only once. If you don't want to watch something gruesome, don't look." And then, because I'm searching through Twitter, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, well, let me find a replay of this. And you couldn't find, even on Twitter, didn't have it. And so finally, when it came back from commercial a couple minutes later, then that's when the TV.
They literally showed it once on the stadium.
Oh, it was terrible. I was just like,
yeah.
I saw it, and I was like, that was fucking horrendous injury, man.
So what is it officially?
All
His
they
injury?
say is that it's just a foot injury, but it doesn't say what exactly.
Bro, that's a
What?
broken foot. That's a snapped ankle. That's just not a sprained foot. Like that's something broken, cuz like that was one of those, your body's not supposed to move like that, bro.
Hell no, your body's not. I don't give
Yeah,
a damn
I mean,
how
that's what
much
I'm saying,
you
like, your
flex.
body's not supposed to do that right there, bro. So prayers to James Conner.
No offense,
You
my
know.
man beat cancer. He's fine. you know what I mean. I mean, it's like if there's anybody that's tough enough, it's James
Hey,
Conner.
so I will say this. Like, I don't want to overshadow the Nick Bosa thing because let's be real. I don't know where we go from here, Jason. Like, I don't know. I don't want to look at it's like I don't know whether to say the season's over, give up all hope, and everything like that. Like, no, I don't want to, but it's like this does have the feeling. Remember last year when we sat there on the podcast and they first came out, they officially the first broadcast show we were able to talk about it going from calf to Achilles with CMC.
Yeah.
And how I said we might turn back at this point in November, December, January and say this is where we should have known what was up. It feels like this is this moment for this season. Like, no, don't give up hope.
Oh, go ahead.
Don't give up hope. Like, we're fucking 3 games in. As we're going to get to when we start to actually talk about the game, there's plenty of positive shit to take away from this game and everything like that. And I want to send out the positive vibes. This is why we don't do the show on Monday. Look, bro, y'all would have had to talk me out of putting a gun in my mouth yesterday if we would have done the show yesterday. This is why I like to take the 24 hours. To basically the 48 hours after the game's over to process everything, because let's be real, we're fans first, bro. We get emotional too, cuz especially my ass. Y'all know me. Jason's way more level-headed and level-keeled than everything that I am, bro. I'm ready to jump. I'm either ready to like run through a brick wall or ready to jump off of the tallest tower from Levi's.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's a few factors that you got to remember. And I think the number one most important factor, Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh will get this ship right. This isn't 2020 where while we do have a slew of injuries, we also have a slew of injuries of guys who are coming back. We're getting DeMarcus Robinson back this week.
Yeah, that's one of my positives.
We're possibly getting Purdy back. Possibly getting Juwan Jennings back. We're going to get BA back, even though that's a different situation. I don't think he'll quite be ready this year. We are going to get BA back. We also spent 3 of our first round draft or the 3 first. I wish we had 3 first round draft picks. 3 of our first 4 draft picks on defensive linemen. We are I don't care what anybody says. We are stacked in that. Yes, we do not have that overall dominant defensive end right now, but this is what you got some of these guys for. Is that for injuries that we can still we're going to be missing Bosa. Now it's time for some of these other guys who were selected in the draft this year, specifically this year, to step up. Also, somebody that I know both of us really like on this show, Sam O. Let's go, Sam O.
Yeah. I mean, let's do it, Samuel. Well, that's what I was going to get to is that, like, I saw the picture. I think it was Chapman had put out on Instagram and was like, if you're ready to jump off the Golden Gate kind of thing, like, just look at this. And it was Brock, and it was a picture of Brock, and it was Samuel, and it was DeMarcus Robinson, and it was a picture of BA, and it was like and it was a picture of Kittle, who we're gonna get back.
How the fuck do you forget about Kittle?
And so yes, I'm with you, Jason. Like, is Nick Bosa ever the same? I don't know. I think we might start to be talking about Nick Bosa like his time as a Niner coming up. Like this might be the conversations you start to have where what we figured out his contract was over in 2027.
Yeah. How old is he? Who's old?
I believe he'll be 30 by the end of his contract.
So he's 27.
27. So he's 27 or 27 going to be 28 this year?
He was born. His birthday's in exactly a month, October 23rd, 1997.
So he'll be 28,
Yep.
29, 30.
So 30.
So
Yep,
they
he'll be
always say it's the year after with the ACL.
Yeah.
So basically, Nick Bosa's contract year will be his year after the ACL. So even 2 years moved now from that ACL, he's just going to have monster MVP type of season at age 30, Jason, after 3 ACL injuries and at least one on each, basically 2 on one knee and one on each knee. I don't know which knee it was, left or right in high school.
This is the first one on the right knee.
This is the first one on the right knee? Okay. So he has 2 on the left and 1 on the right now.
I'll just say this. There is a former 49er who had about 19,000 knee injuries and had a hell of a fucking career and should be in the Hall of Fame.
Who are we talking about?
Frank Gore.
How could I forget? Sorry, Frank. Sorry, Frankie Gangster.
I mean, honestly, he had way more serious and way more injuries.
Huh? This is his first year of eligibility.
Yeah, and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Me and Miss Veronica actually have a bet going because I don't think Frankie Gangster is getting in first year. I don't. I think they're going to disrespect it.
I can see him not getting in because he never had that 1,600-yard rushing year or any of that kind of thing. But
the argument, everybody who's not like, let's be real, bruh. You know I'm from the Bay, bruh. Obviously, not every one of my friends is a Niner fan, right? You know,
yeah,
it's pretty clear. It's actually funny. For a while, the only person I actually knew from the city of San Francisco was actually a Cry Girls fan. When I was a kid, the only person I actually knew from the city of San Francisco was actually a Cry Girls fan. But anyway, the argument everybody's always used against me is that he's a great running back. He's one of the best. All-decade team, everything you could possibly want to say about him. But there was never one year that he was the best running back in the league.
Yeah. People,
and I'm like, okay.
They overlook longevity. Is it like it means
That's
nothing?
what I'm saying. It's so funny because to me, this is the thing that upsets me about the Hall of Fame. Is the argument I was willing to accept, even though I didn't like it, the argument of why I ultimately did not think Patrick Willis would be in the Hall of Fame, even though I believe in my soul he is a Hall of Famer. The reason I felt like, let's be real, we all know Roger Craig ain't a Hall of Famer. Roger Craig should have been in the Hall of Fame damn near 40 fucking years ago, bruh. Okay, so like, just because somebody should be a Hall of Famer doesn't mean that they are. I ultimately did not think Patrick Willis was going to get in, and I thought it was going to be the lack of longevity. Right? I was wrong. Look, one of the happiest things I'm wrong about in football was over Patrick Willis. Both drafting him and him being in the Hall of Fame. I'm happy to be wrong about that.
Can we agree that Frank Gore has a much better resume for getting into the Hall of Fame than Patrick Willis does, at least?
Yes, I'll agree that. I'll agree, except the only thing that I'll say is there were seasons where Patrick Willis was the best linebacker in football.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
There was
out
not
of his 7 years, he was the best probably 4, without a doubt.
The only other linebacker you could argue with is Brian Urlacher.
Bobby Wagner
and Brian Urlacher are the only two in his Patrick Willis in his peak that you could argue with. But anyway, so I think it's going to frustrate me because everybody says that Frank Gore is a stat patter, right? But I think that's, to me, one of the things that makes Frankie Gangster a Hall of Famer. It is a man that wasn't even supposed to make it. The man that like Jason, his knees were shot coming out of Miami.
He should have never had an NFL career, honestly.
He should have never even made the roster. There were people talking so much shit about the Niners drafting him. How many? Be honest. Be honest. How many of y'all who were doing podcasts, or if podcasts even existed then, how many of y'all were talking shit about the Niners drafting Frank Gore in the 3rd round? I did. I'll admit it. I did. The man should have not even had a Hall of
Why?
the 2 knees.
No.
And,
I'm saying a lot of us saw the draft pick and went, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. The man shouldn't even had an NFL career. Then not only does he have a NFL career, but plays more games than anybody at the running back position in NFL history.
Yep.
You cannot hold that against him. Like, I don't understand. It's like saying Jerry Rice played too long.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not their fault that did they probably play a little too long? Yes. Is it their fault they were still effective for that long? No. You know.
Like, it's just, yeah, Frank Gore. I don't believe Frankie look, would love nothing more than to see the red and gold at Super Bowl 50 and then at halftime, or Super Bowl 60, sorry. At halftime, it's announced Frank Gore gets into the Hall of Fame with Roger Craig, and we could all cry as the 2 best running backs in Niner history. No offense to Hugh the King and Joe the Jet, but the 2 best running backs in Niner history go into the Hall of Fame together. Nothing would warm my heart better. I just don't think it's going to happen. But anyway, now on to the actual game. Jason, this Niner team is built different. We could say this. It's been now 2 division games. When you double the win total in the division from last year in just 2 division games, it literally took us just 2 games to double the total of division wins last year. In a game, look, y'all know I'm red and gold till I'm dead and cold. I'm never say die or anything like that. But when the Cardinal receiver caught that 3rd down pass, I said this game is over. Like, as soon as I saw his arm start to come down with the football, I said this game is over.
Yeah.
And when Upton Strout was the biggest, this is why you never give up play that I may have ever seen in my life, Jason. The only play that ever comes to mind that's more of a this is why you don't give up play is a play that Patrick Willis ran down. I believe it was a Yams player. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I forget what team it was, but Patrick Willis ran down. Somebody, I think it might have even been the Steelers. Somebody was going to score, and Patrick Willis literally ran them down and knocked the ball out, and I believe we recovered the fumble.
Crazy.
That's the only other play that was like a don't ever give up type of play, that Upton Strout ripping that ball up. I have never screamed so loud in my life for a ball hitting the ground that I ever did for that, just because, like, I've never felt Levi's like that, bro.
Tell me that wasn't something that he learned from Fred. That was a Fred move.
Yes.
That's Fred. That is something he specifically learned from Fred, and the fact that at his size he put up 21 reps of 225 at the combine. That's those 2 things come into reality. That he was strong enough to rip it out after that guy made the catch, and he knew what to do or exactly what to do because he's been watching Fred, and Fred's probably been at least done some coaching up with him.
You know, I told you, like, the hot player coming out of training camp, you know, the Dre Greenlaw, the Dominic Pooney of this year was obviously Upton Strout, you know, but I've never been so happy for an individual player to have success as a rookie than I am Upton Strout, because, like I told you, Jason, barely anybody came out and signed this year. Right? Like, barely anybody comes out and signs at training camp anymore. Upton Strout not only came out every day that I was there, but he literally started from one end of the line and worked his way all the way down. And, like, look, you were just simply unlucky if you didn't walk away with the Upton Strout autograph this year. Like if you wanted an Upton Strout autograph, you got an Upton Strout autograph.
Okay, I got to stop you. Can you say his name
Yeah.
right, please?
Upton Strout.
Stout.
Stout. It's not Strout, it's Stout.
No, it's Stout.
Well, are you serious? I was saying it wrong this whole time?
Yeah, I was hoping you'd fix it, but I just can't. I can't let you keep going on it anymore.
Yeah, I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Yep, it's Stout. Upton Stout.
Stout. Damn, I thought it was Strout. Anyway, okay, fine. Upton Stout. Thanks for that, bro. I would have looked like a dumbass. No, because I tell people all the time. People ask me what it's like to do a podcast and be Mr. Niner Faithful and all that. And I was like, not much has changed as far as like my normal fandom. I said the only thing that's changed is the like demand to know everything at all times. I said, because if I meet somebody on the bus and I have a conversation and they tell me and they ask me something, or they say, hey, what do you think about the Niners D lineman we just signed? And I'm like, dude, I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
I've been at work all day, man. I don't fucking know. I just got here.
But like that's that's what comes when you put yourself out as Niner Faithful. And when I put myself and I say, look, there are plenty of people on this planet that are just as big as Niner fans as me. Right? They're just people just as big as Niner fans on me in this planet, Jason. Oh, speaking of the devil, I didn't even see you. She made it. I was curious about it.
What's up, Miss D? How you doing, girl?
So yeah, everybody, like, anyway, so that to me, like, I was like, that's humbleness, bruh. That he could have been he could have been full of himself, but to take the time and sign everybody's autograph, to be humble enough to do that, bruh. That, like, literally, like, Kittle Corn didn't even do that shit. He stayed in one spot and was like, you're going to come to me, basically. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, everybody did that. This dude literally went, I know, boo-boo, I know. Like, everybody, Miss Veronica's a soldier. She had to miss the game because they've been working her like a dog. She's over there catching, she was out over there catching the game on her phone at work and everything. Miss Veronica has the most dedication. Like, she inspires me. Her fandom inspires me, y'all. He was really sweet. But anyway, I'm gonna go with, as we speak about the defense, and I'll let you go, say your piece, Jason, in a second. I just want to say this. Put some respect on fucking D Winter's name. Put some respect on D Winter. Dre who? I'm going to say it now, Jason. Dre, I'm saying it now. Dre who?
I forgot about Dre.
Bam Bam, MVP of the week. Dre, fucking D Winners. Jason, please, just I gush too much about D Winners. Tell everybody why he's the defensive MVP of the week.
I wasn't going to necessarily give it to him, but this dude already done forgot about Dre. But all right. No, I mean, look, when we think about it, the Niners have missed or we took a shot at Dre. We missed. Dre Greenlaw has not played a down yet for 3 weeks for the Denver Broncos. So even though we took that shot, it's kind of a good thing that we missed on that one. Because Dre has been hurt, and Dre has always been hurt. But the same thing has always been said about D Winters. But what do we always say about D Winters? If he gets healthy, he replaces Dre. It's all of a sudden, and he has shown up. The only reason why I'm not saying, even though Winters had an amazing fucking game, the only reason why I'm not giving it him as defensive player of the game is I think we need to give it to the young guys up front. Them young bulls, man. Okay. The play where the Kyler Murray was almost a safety, all three of our rookies were in on that play. And not only were all three of the rookies in on that play, the fourth person on the field right then and there, Sam Okawanu. What's up, Tommy? You fairy.
What's up, fairy? So question. I did not, because like we were. Have you ever heard a referee respond to a crowd? Because like literally we were ripping this nigga a new asshole. Okay, now I'm willing.
It was the right call.
Okay, so I was gonna say I'm willing to because I didn't hear the explanation because we're busy calling him everything but a son of God, you know,
Yeah.
a child of God. What was the official call that was not a safety?
And it's one of the rules I actually know on this one is that if any part of the ball and or the quarterback's body is outside of the end zone, it is not a safety. You could have one, your toenail could be outside. It's not a safety. 99.99, you could have one cell in your entire body over the line. It's not a safety. And when you look at it, when he releases the ball, at least a good whole, when his whole throwing arm is over the line. So it sucks because it also sucks because on Dominic Pooney's safety, when they called him for the safety on there, the hold, no, he did held. It was a hold. The hold was outside of
The end zone.
it was outside the end zone, but
Okay.
because the quarterback was in the end zone when the hold took place, that makes it a safety. Which I was like, okay, I didn't know that one. I thought I was like, that's kind of stupid, but okay, if that's the actual rule.
I was too busy looking for the hold in the end zone.
Yeah.
I didn't see a hold out of the end zone because I didn't see a hole in. But like, this is why. Look, Tommy, we're gonna go ahead. Miss Veronica, dude, I want some ice cream so bad, but the only ice cream I have is my Victory Monday ice or Victory Sunday ice cream. You know, and I can't eat it because like we didn't. Like I don't mess with that juju, bruh. So, Tommy, we're gonna get to that. Give us some time to diagnose and get through the week. And I know we signed a D lineman. I was watching
William
the
Bradley
video.
King.
Bradley King. I'm watching Lombardi's breakdown. That's what I was doing while I was waiting for the show. I was trying to watch Lombardi's breakdown of him. We will have a breakdown for y'all of him on Friday, along with all the moves, and we'll go ahead and get into how this looks moving forward on Friday.
He's just gonna be practice squad. He's not gonna be on the.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I know it is so fucking hot right now. It's like 95 here. So anyway. But we will get into that on Friday. I just want to see what our moves are and kind of finish processing this. Yeah, I believe that's what Lombardi was saying. He was on the team before, Tommy.
It's just a practice.
No, Jason, like to me, I remember in 2019, the home opener against the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And the last defensive stand, right? And I remember Abel from the 408 Empire.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was the vice president of my Niner Empire chapter at the time, right? We were talking after the game, and he goes, "Bro, that last defensive stand," and he showed me his arm, and he had goosebumps. And I said, "Bro, that was Candlestick." Like that was the first time I really ever felt like Levi's became a home to us, and you felt the faithful take over a stadium and like our stadium, like it became our stadium. It was like a home field advantage. I had that feeling from the first snap. Fuck the first snap, bro. From the time that they walked out of the tunnel yesterday to that last defensive play, it felt like that every defensive snap. Like I have never been like the last time I was that energized from a defensive performance was last year against the Yams. That home game and everything where I just came and I was like you could just see like that in you and everything that just defensive performance that fired you. I felt like that, bro. And the thing that fired me up the most is when you saw Mikael Williams throw back James Conner. And he just like literally to me, that was our defense announcing that like I know this is like tomfoolery and everything, but it almost felt like that moment, bro. Like it was just our defensive, like our D line just announcing that, like, nah, like all that bullshit from last year, all that we're gonna run down the Niners' throats, that NFC championship, all that shit, that stops now. That's just what that game felt like. That game felt like the defense. Look, we saw it with the Seahawks. Okay, whatever. You saw it with New Orleans twice.
Yep.
And this is what makes it almost Nick Bosa so much more heartbreaking is that, look, we all recognize Bryce Huff and everything like that. The drive that should have ended the game if Kyle, which we'll get to here in a second. I want Jason to talk about the defense. Should have been the last drive is that our two defensive stalwarts made the play. Fred Warner on third down and Nick Bosa with the sack in New Orleans. Like Nick Bosa was starting to be, our stars need to be stars type of player. But it felt like the D line, like you said, Jason, announcing itself. Like John Lynch went into this draft and said, we are stopping the run. And it felt like that tackle by Mikel Williams was the D line saying, hey, John, you're right. We are stopping the run this year. Jason, talk about the defensive performance. I can't anymore. I'll be here all day.
It's damn good. I mean, what else can we say? When you're saying that's Mikel Williams, for me, again, it was the almost safety when you had obviously Nick Bosa not on the field, and you had about as young as you can get with this defensive line with three rookies and Sam O on the field. And they're the ones, all four of them, they're the ones chasing around Kyler Murray in the end zone. So, I mean, like I said, it's just, are we going to miss Nick Bosa? Yes. We are obviously going to miss Nick Bosa. That said, we haven't seen the best of these guys. Sam O is going to have to mature very quickly. Bryce Huff is probably going to go up from 15, 20 plays a game or to probably about 20 to 25. And that's okay. As long as he tops out right about there. And he, that's about where his limit is where, for him and his pass rushing. Anything more, if we're using him more towards like what we used Leonard Floyd last year, we have a serious problem. And that's where the breakdown is. But Sam will keep matures. These three defensive linemen right now, they are all feeling great right now. You know what I mean? They're probably all taking coaching. It's easier to coach when you're winning like this. Versus, you know what I mean? Versus how we lost all three of these games and we just got run over. There's no confidence in these kids. They're like, okay, blah, blah, blah. But now you've won 3 games more or less because of the defense. And so what are those guys doing? That just makes them more of a sponge. That way, whenever Salah talks to them, they're absorbing it more. Coach K talks to them, they're absorbing it more. Not only that, but when your mind is much more open because you're not depressed. Like, man, can I do this in this league? No, you've proven you can do this in this league already. For 3 games, it's come down to you, and you've held your own pretty damn well.
Like, let's be real. Each game, except the first one, it came down to the D twice.
Yeah.
And that's what made me – that's why, like, I had literally – asked Miss Veronica, I had no voice on Monday. And the reason I had no voice and I was so emotional just because, like, I felt like I did last year with the Yams, where I was just like, there's no way we should lose this game after this defensive performance. And look, we could sit here and we could talk about Kyle's play calling and everything like that. We could – I don't know how you felt, Jason. I felt like Mac played fine. I felt that he started to show the reason why he's a backup a little bit in this game.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm a little nervous. I'm at Jacksonville, but like, yeah, once we start to like, I need Brock back because I don't need Brock first week action, since week 1 to be on a shirt Thursday night going down to LA. I want Brock to have that full week of practice and then however many practices he's actually going to get leading up to the Yams game. I want Brock to actually get in the swing of things as many times. Because let's be real, it ain't like Brock had that much fucking preseason reps,
Yeah.
Let's be real, Jason. Like Brock still really hasn't played that much football since last January. Shit, since week 16 because he didn't start week 18 last year. He didn't start the last game last year.
Yep.
So Brock's played 2 games in the calendar year of 2025. Brock needs some practice. He needs some football action in his life. Offensive MVP, Jason. I think I have a feeling that you're going to go one of 2 ways. I'll let you speak about yours. Just mine real quick. Honorable mention to Connor Kobe and Dominic Pooney, just because I think that. Or I'm sorry, Connor Kobe and Connor Kobe, not Dominic Pooney. Why did I say Dominic Pooney? Connor Kobe. I thought that this might be a little area that could be exposed, but you have to say Ricky Pearsall. When we it's no secret in training camp, I said my biggest concern with the Niners team was the wide receivers. I said that. I'm not going to hide from that. It's on tape. I'm not going to hide what I put on tape. I'm not going to make a proclamation saying Ricky Pearsall has arrived and all that or anything like that. But I don't need necessarily what he showed Sunday every Sunday. But if he can show the clutchness, I don't need 8 for 117. I just need the clutch catches on 3rd down. You know, I need the clutch catch on 4th and 2 down the sideline. Well, let's be real. That has no business of actually being complete.
Nope, that's the Ricky Ricochet on that one.
Yeah, that has no business being complete. That's to me what you expect. I don't need, like I said, I don't need the 117, 8 for 117. And still played well.
Yep.
I just need the clutchness. If we could get the clutchness out of Ricky Pearsall that we've seen this season, he's worth the 30th overall pick, bruh.
Yeah.
It's some gator jaws, bruh. It's some gator jaws.
Well, have you watched that play actually in slow motion and watched the catch?
Yes, I've seen the clips and everything. I have no fucking clue how he caught that, bruh. You know how he caught that?
With his jaw. It hit him. You know,
The
that was
gator,
guy who, by the way,
jaws,
called
baby.
it the Ricky Ricochet. That was him that named that, and I was like, that's fucking perfect for that. But,
The Ricky Ricochet, he did name it and everything. And like, I love how humble he is. You know, he's just so humble. Like I love Ricky Pearsall.
Have you noticed that? Okay, so you with Ricky Pearsall, with the vibes that he brings, is it not like we have 2 Kendrick Bournes on the team now?
Yes. You know what? It's so funny because he looked and like when he was talking, I was like, bro, like he was like, yeah, me and KB. He's like, especially with KB on the team, and we were dancing and everything. And he was like, I feel like I've known that man my whole like years, and I've only known him like 6 days. And I was like,
close your eyes and listen to them talk.
He's
It's
just
like
a white
the same damn person. He's the white version of KB.
Jason, he's just a lighter skinned KB. That's all it is, bro. He's just a lighter skinned.
Seriously, he really is. Like I said, close your eyes, listen to 2 of them talk. It's the same vibe, the same tone, everything. It's, you know, it's just weird how it's like both of them at the same time.
So big shout out to Ricky Pearsall. I said on the pregame show that, you know, because everybody was asking me, what do we do without my Juwan and only? You know, I don't give a fuck, bro. He's still my Juwan and only. But that's just the sickest nickname, bro. I love all my nicknames, but Juwan and only is the best one. I don't give a fuck. Juwan and only. So anyway, and it was missing yesterday with the physicality that Arizona, because that was a fucking physical. Jason, I haven't seen a replay, and like I don't know if it was that hit on CMC. That was early, right? Am I tripping? Was that an early hit?
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, if
Okay,
it wasn't early, that's about as close to
bang
it
bang as
being.
you could get.
Yeah,
Bang bang as you could get. And to me, this is like if there was ever a time when you flag the jersey, not the foul. And what I mean by that is like Patrick Mahomes is going to get certain calls. Like refs are going to protect Patrick Mahomes. Refs are going to protect quarterbacks, right?
yeah.
Whenever you allow the jersey number to dictate the foul on a hit that close, that violent to a potential MVP candidate. Yeah, and yes, I said that. CMC is in case y'all forgot, CMC is good at football. Let's not forget that, bro. Like CMC is good at football. And in a
You
game
can also
where
say that Jones had no business throwing that ball there.
he had absolutely no fucking look. Our quarterbacks are the fucking Hall of Famers at throwing hospital balls, bro. Like they're the fucking hit between Mac Jones and Jimmy G. I swear to God, bro, we'll go in the fucking hospital ball Hall of Fame. Fucking A. That to me, if you ever are gonna call a foul because of the jersey number, you call it right there and you protect CMC. That's a protect. Let's be real. If MVP is not, I say it all the time, Jason. If MVP wasn't a quarterback award, CMC was the MVP in 2023.
Yep.
You protect a potential MVP candidate after you've already lost one of the best players in the NFL, right? In Nick Bosa. You already lost a great story in James Conner for God knows how long.
Oh, he's
Let's
done
be
for the
real.
season.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's be real, bro. Like an injury like that might be questionable if you can even play again, considering running back
Well,
and,
he's
all that
older
type of
too.
thing. Yeah, but yes, I agree with you, Jason. Horrible play call. Horrible play call, but
Yeah, Connor's 30.
this is he's done. This to me, did this game not scream a Jawan physicality type of game? Because this was a fucking physical ass fucking game. This game was more physical than
Juwan
the
would have loved
Sheehan
it.
game.
Jennings would have absolutely loved playing this game.
Oh, this was a Jawan game. This was the type of game where Jawan sets the tone early. And
you could also say that the way that Wilson was hitting people was because Jennings wasn't out there to check him.
Look, I don't know how well I know you know hockey pretty well, Jason. You know Olin Nolan?
Yep.
Okay, my all-time favorite Shark, right? Like Shark fans my age, huh?
Shark Enforcer.
Shark Enforcer. Like to me, Olin Nolan is just like, bro. To me, the reason he's my all-time favorite Shark is he was a whole package. He would score a goal. The sickest goal I ever saw was his call shot at the Shark Tank at the All-Star game to complete the hat trick. Okay. His center ice when we were the 8th seed and we beat the 1 seed fucking Blues, and his goal from center ice. And Olin Nolan was the quickest to drop the gloves. Like you just weren't gonna play that shit, bro, with Olin Nolan on the ice. Like Olin was just quick to drop the gloves, bro. Like no questions asked. That's Jawan, bro. That's just that Jawan is the Olin Nolan of the Sharks. And that's it. That hit on CMC doesn't happen, or if it does, there's repercussions because Jawan's over there standing on business if you hit CMC like that.
Yeah, and maybe not necessarily that play, but when he crosses, he's looking for you. Like he catches a crossing pattern, he's looking for him to knock him his ass.
Bet he doesn't go up to Kyle and say, "Let me clean that nigga's clock." Let me run
He pulls a Debo, give me the ball, and I want him.
Give me the ball,
on him one-on-one.
Oh yeah,
I can see Jennings doing that. Like, hey, Kyle,
he does that
one-on-one with him.
You brought up a great point, Jason, when Wilson and the physicality of that game was happening because of Jawan not being there. So to have Ricky step up like I challenged him to do, you know me, Jason, I'm quick to call people out, but when you prove me wrong, or when I pump you up and you prove me right, I'm the first one. I'm the one clapping the loudest for you, brother. And Ricky, I'm applauding you. Jason, your thoughts on the O, and then we'll get up out of here.
I think we need to put. I know a lot of us have been mad at Kyle for his play calling.
Yeah.
One, that 4th and 2 and that deep pass to Ricky. Tell me he didn't grab his motherfucking nuts and said, "We're just going for this shit."
Hey, Kyle has had some. I'll give you this. Kyle's had some fucking cojones this year.
And not only that, but just he don't have much in the cabinet right now. He ain't got many of his toys to play with.
And look, I was getting ready to criticize him as harshly as I did for those last 2 drives in New Orleans. But when I stepped back, and that last drive to me was that as much as we talk about Mac, like I wanted to almost make Mac Kittle Corn MVP of the week just because like that's one of the ballsiest quarterback fucking, gutting it out for your team performances, when you're the back, like I just love this
Who was
football
injured?
team, he was, bro. Let's be real. Like like we all love Brock and everything like that, bro. But that's especially when you're going to be on the team 2 years. That's what makes you fall in love with the backup quarterback because he knows he's the backup, but he's still out there with one leg. Like, put me in, coach. And Kyle did say that he wanted to go with the juice play that ended up being the juice touchdown on that 4th to CMC, but he was concerned about Mac Jones' knee. He on the rollout and everything. He was concerned about his knee because he did hurt it on that 4th and 2 play. Yeah, he did say he said he heard it on that 4th and 2, or I believe it was the play before the 4th and 2 play. Is
it was
when
the play before.
Yeah, when he hurt his knee, so he was concerned about his knee. But that's one of the most ballsy, guttiest performances. But the reason I'm not criticizing Kyle is Kyle was in his fucking bag that last drive, bro.
He's been in his bag the whole time. I mean, I know it's been ugly, but they are literally stacking the box with damn near fucking 15 people. It seems like. There's 11 people on the field, but it feels like there's 15 people in that fucking box. And they're like, "Oh, you got no wide receivers? Let's see what you can do."
It's when I saw that, and it was talking about Vandes when Vandes Scantling caught his first pass and everything like that, and where they were talking about KB and just with their Kendrick Bourne with the reception and the names that they were announcing, as the drive was going on, I was like, all right, bro, Kyle's in his fucking bag because he's out there cooking with fucking
nothing.
He's out there cooking with nothing with his backup quarterback on one leg.
And he's giving you a 19-course meal basically with all the
I was like, man, like this is Kyle fucking cook. And you saw when that kick went through, hey, bro, I started an Eddie chant. Because like I ain't gonna lie, I forgot what it was like. Because right when it left his leg, you saw it was right when it left his leg. You saw it was dead center. Everybody went psycho. Like you knew right when I was like, that bitch is dead center. Like I forgot what that felt like, bro. When you didn't have to.
Josh posted something, and I was like, man, when was the last time we had a win like that? And I know we've won kicks, won games in the fourth quarter and all that. But when was the last time we had one where we came back? We fought through it. And it was just so emotional. Like, when was the last time we had something like that?
The last game that I really felt like that, like obviously the clinch by an inch, is going to be the closest and everything. But was that home opener in 2019? That home opener when you turn the ball over 5 times.
You still
think like when you look at what the game is, and the game being like the Niners had no business winning that game in 2019 with 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
The Niners, listen, when Mac threw that pit, when the Niners got that safety with 3-something left in the ball game, The Niners lose that game last year. Shit, when's the last time you were confident in a Niner team winning a game like that?
Yeah. And
There's
even
no
if we
way
did,
in hell. When you saw how open that receiver was on third down and you saw the ball coming down in he had the catch, Jason. It was ball game. We were going to lose. And we fought. Like, no, Jason, no. 2019 was the closest we've had to a win like that.
it's been a while since my heart beat like that, besides the Super Bowl kind of thing.
You saw it. You saw Kyle right when that kick went through and he let out that audible, fuck yeah. You saw you just saw in the like you heard it and saw it. Way to go, Eddie! You heard it in the locker room and everything. Think about it. We lost our third best player for the season.
Yeah.
Right? Like the players had to know. Right? The players had to know. Have you seen the locker room video, Jason?
Yeah.
Does that seem like the locker room of a team that just lost their second to third, maybe best? Nah. You know what? I'm here to claim it, bro. Fred Warner is the best player on this football team.
Yeah, I think without a doubt he is.
He's the best player on the football team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same page. Everybody say, sorry. Slap myself. We need to say his name properly, like I put on Chapman's post, and Chapman pinned on his post. We need to say his name properly from now on. Future Hall of Famer, Fred Warner, is the best player on this football team. But did that seem like the locker room of a team that just lost their second or third best player?
No, that seemed like the locker room that knew that they lost their second best player, and they overcame it and still won.
Yes. And has the confidence to continue to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, this is not only do we applaud, and I'll let you give your final thoughts here in a second, Jason. Not only do we applaud the players, but I applaud the coaching staff, especially the defensive coaching staff and the tight end and the offensive coaching staff to prepare Jake Tongas and Luke Farrell and all the backups that we've had to prepare this year to play so far. Think about how many players are playing significant roles this year, Jason.
And it's only week 3.
Like, big shout out to the fucking coaching staff, bruh. Like to me, this is a team win if you've ever had one.
Yeah, it literally took everybody. Literally took everybody.
All right, final thoughts, brother.
Great game. This is the kind of game that you build confidence with, especially in your young players. Like I've said, that and we've talked about getting off to this fast start is at some point one of the rookies is going to cost us a game. We know that. Yeah. It's going to come. It's just natural. That's what's going to happen. But as long as we can keep stacking these wins, especially in the division and in the conference, let one of these games we have against an NFC opponent. That's when someone gets someone like Upton Stout burnt on something, or he misreads something. Could you imagine some of those like an Upton Stout or one of those guys in the backfield?
He doesn't break up the ball on third down against the Jags next week.
What if it's him that blew the coverage that left Marvin Harrison open twice?
Yeah,
maybe that was his coverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We got lucky. Then we learn. You're gonna as long as your confidence is high, and that I can only imagine how confident they are right now. The vibes in there are gonna be high as fuck because you're getting lucky, and you're getting better at the same time. So as you need less luck as you get better.
And yes, and definitely, I fully agree with everything you said, brother. And this type of win, this type of win is the type of win that how probably when people really truly started to believe, at least I don't know about you, Jason, but myself, when I started to believe in that 2019 season was that first game against the Yams. When we got those 2 fourth down stops. You remember?
Yeah.
In 2019?
Mhm.
That could be that type of win. Or
Yeah,
maybe
for
at
sure.
the end of the year, we talk about, hey, that Cardinals game, that's the game we should have probably pointed to and said, you know what? Just maybe, bruh. Just let's hold off and let's see, if this team really can do something special this year. But this
Mhm.
might be a win that we point to, Jason, in a couple months and say that this might have been something special.
Could have been what makes us to the playoffs, what wins the division, what gets a bye week. You know what I mean? It's games
Fucking
like
A.
this that we pull out of our ass. Then we're like, okay, this is why we got this, this spot here in the postseason.
Yep.
Or if we miss the
Definitely.
postseason, like, damn, what if we
It
didn't?
could have been the
What if
loss.
we'd lost this game? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it could have, and this could have been the what if game. This was definitely a what if game. Game in the balance in division. Yep, definitely. All right, brother. We'll catch you Friday.
Indeed, Fafitai Te Lava. One love, everybody.
All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Man, this football, I ain't gonna lie. I started the show kind of depressed, but just talking through Jason, talking through y'all and everything in the show just got me fired up, bro. Just got me ready to kick some ass, bro, again. All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here. We shall see y'all on Friday. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.